Throughout the past year, almost every interaction on my phone has begun with the flick of the wrist, and at the end of each task has ended with the satisfying noise of the phone shutting. Unlike many others, after using a folding phone, I believe they're the phones of the future. The idea of an item folding is a concept as old as time, and in fact, before the modern phone was so used to today, many phones featured a hinge. Yet we moved away from the concept of phones that feature a hinge, moved to phones that are just boring. There is no other way to describe it. Whereas on the other hand, folding phones bring a spark back to phones that just funner. Folding phones come in two different varieties. You have a book style folding phone and the objectively more fun flip phone. The book style fold enables you to get more done, but nothing beats the pleasant satisfaction of flipping open your phone to get shit done. Along with the immense fun you get from flipping open your phone, the hinge on any folding phone offers practical use cases too, such as you want to take a photo of yourself but don't have a tripod? No problem. The phone can hold itself up and you can take pictures of just a flash of your palm. You want to watch a video while eating and have your phone propped up? No problem. Just sit the phone down and watch as the video moves to the top half of the screen. All of these features are from apps that support flex mode, but sadly, not every single app offers a flex mode. Even though not all apps offer a flex mode, I still find myself holding the phone to use flex mode. I find that viewing content such as Instagram, Twitter, threads, reading articles while sitting down could be enhanced by propping your phone in flex mode. Sometimes I find myself using flex mode, keep an eye on things like texts and deliveries while at my desk. It's another amazing feature just regular candy bar smartphones don't offer. The friction of having to open up your phone for each task is weirdly enough something I enjoy, even though you think you wouldn't enjoy it. I find the reason for this is due to the fact that in this modern day and age, well as some sort of smartphone addiction, and the added friction of having to flip open the phone helps increase the barrier to entry when you're using your phone. Like James Clear says in his book Atomic Habits, before you try to increase your willpower, try to decrease the friction in your environment, as friction is the one force that can help you break or build habits. The more friction into doing something, the less likely you are to do it, but the less friction to do something, the more likely you are to do it. But nonetheless, back to the main point. Of course I could just flip open the phone with a flick of the wrist, which at this point has become second nature from taking my phone out of my pocket. But I found that the friction is still there, and when I go to skip a track, I don't end up seeing a message and getting trapped on the infinity pools of social media. By the way, I don't recommend trying to flip open a normal candy bar slab, unless you want it broken. But there still has to be a way to use the phone when it's shut, and that's where the cover screen comes into play. The cover screen offers a quick way to see your notifications and glance at other bits of info about when to open your phone. The notifications that show up are great most of the time, but sometimes I've noticed it just has the name of the app and doesn't show you what the actual notification is, which is, well, useless. And when you get a text, unless it's something you can reply with just a simple yes or no, you'll have to either use your voice to dictate a text or opening up the phone half the time to reply to texts.
This video was written before the launch of the Z Flip 5, and the Z Flip 5 did actually fix this issue by introducing a cover display very dissimilar to what Motorola have been doing since 2019, which now allows you to reply to text on the cover display, open up apps, and do a lot more than you could ever do on the limited Z Flip 3, 4, or even the original and 5G displays.
I'm coming from someone who's been using an iPhone all their life, and switching to Android never seemed in the cards. But once I switched to Android, I realised what I've been missing out on. It's so much fun to be able to change anything I want about my home screen and phone in general. Coming from the boring 4-wide app grid on my iPhone for years, I've been able to play around with multiple different launchers, from default Samsung launcher, to Nova launcher, to Niagara launcher, and even a launcher that looks like a Windows phone from 2012. And, well, I'm not going to lie, it's hard to pick a favourite launcher as they're all so fun, but I find myself switching between the default Samsung launcher and Niagara launcher the most. Along with that, I've also found that with a third-party launcher, the gesture bar doesn't work as well and is a lot more glitchy, but it's worth it as some third-party launchers are just so much fun. One of the most key things on any phone is the camera, and while yes, the camera on the Z Flip is now a lot better than it used to be, it's still nowhere near as good as your average candy bar phone. But where the camera shines is when it comes to flexibility that flex modes offer you, like I mentioned before. In almost any situation, you can use flex mode to help frame your shot better, and in the end, get a good looking photo. I find that photos on the Z Flip aren't the best, but for capturing memories, I trust this phone. But when I need my camera to get a high quality photo for Instagram or YouTube or something, I'll go back to my trusty iPhone 13 Pro. Although, can't blame the downfall of the camera on Samsung, as it's impossible to fit a decent sized camera and keep a folding phone a decent compact size as well. Fat bottom phones don't make the rocking world go round. First off, one of my biggest complaints, the battery life. And well, if I'm being honest, it's absolutely trash. But to be honest, in this modern day and age, 99% of the time, we're not too far from a charger. And even when we are, the fun factor of the phone just makes up for the lack of battery life in my opinion. Although I do carry two phones to make up for some of the Z Flip's shortcomings. On a typical day, I get around 5 hours of screen on time before I find that I need to charge if I want to make it through the day. Although I do have SyncThing running in the background uploading my photos to my computer, and Beeper SMS Bridge to sync my SMS to Beeper. I'll be talking more about Beeper and SyncThing in a future video. Furthermore, what seems to compound the battery issue is the phone running a bit toasty sometimes, due to the processor having to be at the top of the phone.
Because, well, newsflash, it folds.
Then this leads into the question everyone has been asking since flip phones became a thing. How durable is the hinge?
Well, I kind of fucked up, so I kind of go on a whole rant here. Talk about how my microphone doesn't work on my phone. Well, turns out I was a bit of an idiot. As well, I took my phone to Samsung due to the microphone not working, and Samsung said it was due to something getting caught on the hinge, which was also why my speakers sounded muffled according to Samsung. But I believed that, and then I got this phone back from my Samsung repair, which I will tell you by the way, Samsung repair experience was great. I took my phone in 20 minutes later or so. They'd figured out the issue, taken the phone in for 6 days or so. I had to use my iPhone. That is a bit of a problem. So obviously, well, not everyone has this backup phone to rely on, but I was fortunate enough to have my iPhone to rely on, and everything was great. Once I got my phone back, no data was lost, everything was handled completely fine. But the problem was, I got my phone back, and a month or so later, I started to the microphone was working again, and I thought it was something to do with the hinge. Well, turns out I was wrong. As well, let me give you a bit of info dump. This is literally just happened last night. I got my brand new Z Fold 5. There will be a video about this soon. And I wanted to send a voice note. I started to send a voice note, nothing. I was panicking. I thought I was going to take it to Samsung, even though it was literally only just a day old. And then I just tried to clean the microphone out of a SIM card tool. Did that, and it worked fine. Did it on this phone, and it worked fine. So, apparently microphones just get dirty easily. I've only ever had to clean a hole once on an iPhone, and it wasn't the microphone, it was the lightning port, I remember, on my iPhone 13 Pro. Other than that, it just seems, I don't know if it's all Samsungs or just foldables, or I just get bad luck, but seem to get lint in the microphone easy. And, well, as I mentioned previously, the reason I sent it in was thanks to the microphone and speaker issues. But there was another issue. The phone started to crack at the crease, and the screen protector started to lift, which, well, isn't a lot of fun. And I sent it back, everything was fine, I got it fixed. But like I mentioned, the microphone went bad again, but as I mentioned previously, I was able to fix that. But the screen protector has started to lift again, as you can see. And furthermore, it's just the hinge has gotten looser again. But like they say, it's physics. I can't control how tight the hinge is, and that's not Samsung's fault. But it's just a shame that you're gonna have to deal with your screen protector lifting and most likely at some point getting a crack down the middle of your phone. But I'm now living an all foldable lifestyle with Z Fold 5 and Z Flip 4. I'm going to continue using this on my daily and get back to you on how these foldables actually survive in the real world of use. The little feet at the bottom which help protect the phone when it's closed started to become loose, and before I knew it, the right one had fallen off and the left one is halfway on its way to falling off right now as I'm talking. Overall, while the Z Flip does have some shortcomings I don't expect most people to look over, for me, I love the folding lifestyle and I'll see you at some point in the future with the Z Fold 5. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out some of my other tech videos that YouTube has recommended for you. Thank you for watching and have a good rest of your day.